Good day. We're going to make our Gothic lettering. So we need our cross-section paper. This one. So I prefer cross-section paper because this is more detailed compared to graphing paper. Another material that we need is the eraser and also our mechanical pencil. So in making your letters in the alphabet, we need to measure the letter using 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces for the height and 3 spaces for the width. So therefore, if we're going to make our letter A, this is 1, 2, 3. You have to find the center. So then you may position your paper according to your comfort. Then draw your first stroke of the letter A, then the second stroke, then third. Now, for the small letter A, we have to leave one space in between this letter A capital so that you can start with your letter A, small letter. Then use 2 spaces with 2 spaces height. So you have to do it properly and carefully so as not to commit mistakes. For the letter B, another space, you have to skip this or leave this so that you can start your letter B. And as I've said, you may position your paper according to your comfort. And you have to use the proper stroke of each letter so that you can present it properly and nicely. So letter C, then letter D, then letter E, stroke, F, as for the letter F, the small letter in the F, we only need 1 space for the width and 3 spaces for the height. So this one, then letter G, and now for the letter J, small letter, we need to use this lower space so that we can create the tail of the small letter J. So we cannot accommodate any letter here, so we will go to the next line. But before you do that, you have to count 1 to 3 spaces before you will start with your letter H. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3, and this will be our space intended for the letter H. And as for the letter I, it is an ordinary vertical line as well as the small letter I, but do not forget to place that above your vertical line for the small letter I. and this is our letter J. And for the small letter J, so this, since we have a tail of the letter J, we have to provide an extra space so that we can create the tail of the letter J. Then letter K, L, then M. Okay, for the letter M, this letter is considered as wide letter in the alphabet, so therefore we need 4 spaces for the width of letter M instead of 3 for the normal letter. So this is now our letter M. So get the center. So then for the letter M, small letter, since it is wide, we need to use 1, 2, 3 spaces. Then center, this one will be the marker for your curve line of the small letter M. Then N, going back to the 3 spaces with, and also the small letter N, normal. Then letter O, since we cannot accommodate the letter O, this portion, we need to go to the next line. So the same, we have to use 3 spaces or to skip 3 spaces so that we can start with our letter O here. So you have to be careful. You are prepared with the each letter construction because you are having your exercises about on vertical and horizontal line, inclined line, as well as the curved line exercises. And may I tell you that you have to be careful in counting so that there will be no mistakes or erasures that will take place. Once you are going to erase frequently or constantly, the surface of the paper will be damaged. So presence of mind is very important in performing the task. Now for the small letter T, we need to use 1 space only for the width, just like the letter F. Then letter U, then the next line, count 1, 2, 3. Then you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, then 1, 2, 3 spaces, letter V. Then this is the center. You have to position the paper according to your comfort. And I have committed a mistake in making making my inclined line, so that I have to erase. Then letter V, small letter, and now W. This is also wide letter in the alphabet, so therefore I need to use, or we need to use 4 spaces for the width of the letter. So this is the inclination. Now, for the small letter W, we need 3 spaces for this letter. Then we have our X. We are almost done. So it's better that you're going to use my strategy so that you will be guided where your lines will go. Then the last letter in the alphabet, which is the letter Z. As I've said, you have to be careful with the spacing. Then for the numbers, we only need 3 spaces height. 1, 2, 3. So we have to start here. This is our number 1. Number 2. Okay. So number 3. Number 4.